What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it's all about classic bodybuilding, and of course you can see that I'm doing some fasted cardio in the morning. And I'm about 1.5 weeks out from my second contest, the Juliette Bergman Grand Prix in the Netherlands. I did the same contest exactly a year ago, and that video is on my channel, where I got first in the juniors and second in the super heavyweights. And not a junior anymore, so I gotta do my best in the super heavyweights. But this time, if you win the overall, you can win an IFBB Pro Elite card, right? IFBB Elite Pro card. So that's making it a lot more interesting for people from around Europe to compete, because it is an international competition, not just a Dutch one. But pretty happy with everything, how it's going. As you can see, kind of wearing a waist thingy, not a waist trainer, just more of a belt to increase the sweat there and to kind of hold the stomach flat, because when you're sitting down crunched over, you know, the natural inclination for your stomach is to go forward as well, especially in my case because my rib cage is pretty big. And wearing a belt like this just helps keep everything tucked in, which is of course what we want. So I'm gonna finish up this cardio, and then I have a beautiful high carb meal, because today is a high carb day. My diet consists of 1 high carb day, 1 low carb day, and 3 days of cardio back to back, and then 1 day of no cardio. So let's check it out. Alright, I'm done with the cardio right now. I did about an hour on the bike. Burned quite a lot of calories, sweat quite a lot. I think on the cardio you should at least, you know, sweat, because that way you will actually release toxins, especially when you do it fasted in the morning. And when you drink a lot of water, you will deliver those toxins right to the skin, right to the intestines, and you will get rid of all of it. And the only way to do that is there's nothing in your stomach, nothing really to bother anything else except water in there, except you sweating and drinking plenty of water, as I said before. But anyway, let's check out my breakfast. Check this out, guys. This is actually oatmeal, but I hacked this oatmeal. So this is supposed to be just 100 grams of oatmeal, some almonds, which I'm going to add later on. I actually have them right here. I like to put them in here, because if you put them in here, and these are overnight oats, by the way, they will get soggy, and I like them nice and crispy to give a bite in this oatmeal. But you can see this little color right here. This is carrot, and these little white spots, that's cauliflower. Those two vegetables, the cauliflower adds more of a neutral taste, but it adds a lot of volume. The carrot adds a nice sweetness and a carrot cake taste to it, and it just makes it a lot more volume as well. So I added about 70 grams of carrot and 100 grams of cauliflower, and together that's like 40 calories. So what I did is just decrease the oatmeal with a couple of grams, and the calories are the same, except the volume has doubled. And that is an oatmeal hack. The same calories, more benefits in terms of vitamins and minerals from the raw vegetables, which is very healthy for you. For example, cauliflower, if you cook it, a lot of vitamin C is lost, but when it's raw, the vitamin C is intact. And having vitamin C through a vegetable is always the best way, because of all the phytonutrients that are in vegetables to help you absorb the vitamin C. There's also 10 grams of Ceylon cinnamon in there, the best version, that if you take it too much, it won't toxify, you know, it won't be toxic to your body. Some cinnamon in the stores are. And 60 grams of whey with some almond milk. So this will be a delicious first meal of the day, which I'm going to enjoy right now. Alright guys, it's time for the second meal of the day. It's a high carb day, or a medium carb day, whatever you want to call it. It's the highest carb day that I have in this diet. This is 400 grams of white potatoes, very delicious. Just literally put them in a pan, tiny bit of coconut oil, and roast them like that for about 20 minutes, and they're perfect. After that, look at that beauty. We've got 200 grams of Brussels sprouts right here. And we've got 270 grams of tuna. Now, tuna has a little more protein per 100 grams than normal white fish, so that's why I can get away with 270 grams. So this is my second meal of the day, very clean. Normally I'd have basmati rice, but this is also a very clean carbohydrate source. A lot of people think that white potatoes are bad because they're white. But the only white stuff that is bad is made by humans. White bread, white flour, white pasta. So this is like this in nature. So it might look white, but it's not actually bad for you. So the difference between yams and sweet potatoes is, pretty small. Only thing you can say is the insulin response you get to yams is a little less than compared to white potatoes. But because we're adding a lot of vegetables, we're adding protein, the absorption will be slow anyway, so it will be negligible in the end. I'm upstairs right now, and this is the meal, the final product. 270 grams of tuna, 400 grams of white potatoes, and 200 grams of Brussels sprouts. I'm going to enjoy this meal a lot. And there's a little bit of oil in the potatoes. And after this I'm going to do some groceries, because I need some salmon like always. That's the most expensive part of this diet, the Nordic salmon. One meal is about €4.50 for only the salmon. The broccoli is pretty expensive. If I choose to have tuna steak, that's also about €4, €3.80. So bodybuilding can be quite expensive, but you can do it very cheap as well. I think I'm going to do a lot more cans of tuna. I mean, there is quite a lot of salt in there, but when I'm bulking, for example, you can save a lot on your diet when you're doing groceries. And I think I'm going to make a video about that, having the same calories and macronutrients of one day with more high-end items. Yes, they are more delicious. Yes, you can do more with them, but the price difference is just immense. And I'm going to compare that with another day with the exact same nutrition stats, but then with cheap foods such as rice and tuna. And I will show you exactly how to make that delicious as well. But I'm going to enjoy this meal right now and jump right into the workout of today, which is, as you can see, a leg workout. And what I'm working on right now is the hamstrings, the standing leg curl. If you follow me for some time, you know that my hamstrings are a weak point, and you gotta be honest with yourself. Why do I have this weak point? Sure, it could be genetics, but you always gotta look at your own execution, form, etc. And that's exactly what I did. And that is also why I like for you guys to record yourself from time to time when training a weak point and see how your form is, if you're doing a right execution. What I've noticed is that the last couple of months I've focused more on weight than execution when I'm doing hamstrings. So on this machine I went a lot heavier than this, and now I'm trying to really focus on that incredible contraction, because the hamstrings, just like the biceps, don't require a super heavy weight to get those detailed stripes, striations in them, because I do have some mass but not the details, the quality in the muscle that I require, that I do have in my biceps, for example. And the hamstrings are the biceps of the legs. So what I'm focusing on here is the contraction and going down slow on the negative, because on the negative you destroy most of the muscle fibers, which is what you want to extend, because on the negative, going heavy and going slow will give you the most gains. And exactly during this exercise I'm doing the same thing, going down slowly. But take a look at my upper body. It is flat against the pad. This way you can only use your hamstrings and not your glutes, not your lower back, to pull the weight, which is of absolute importance if you want to develop proper quality in any muscle group you are training. And I really recommend that you guys record yourself in training a weak body part to see if your form is lacking, if it can be improved. So don't look at the weight, but look at your form, feel the muscle. And as I'm starting my semi-final set on this machine, you can see me wearing a bracelet, as I've been approached by a very cool company, literally called Cool Man Jewelry, and they contacted me. Usually I don't like to do sponsored videos at all, but I think they deserve it because the bracelets look really awesome in my opinion, and they are comfortable in the gym. I actually had them for weeks now, and I really have been testing them out. I usually don't buy any jewelry for myself, but when I get an offer like this, I decided, yeah, I kind of like the look of it. I'm gonna test it out in the gym, and I'm going to wear it on a day-to-day basis because I don't have any of that stuff myself. So they do deserve a shout out, at least in this video. And if you want to check them out, check out the links in the description for the purchase links and the company site itself, so you can check out their awesome jewelry for sure. But anyway, we are doing the front squat right now, and the front squat is something I also need to implement a lot more to get the quad sweep. Another one of my minor weak points, because my quads are pretty much developed in comparison to the rest of my body. They are quite, proportionate, but the hamstrings need a lot of mass. But what I can use for the quads is the quad sweep. So doing front squats and hack squats, like a duck stance, really increases that sweep on the quads. And I haven't done front squats a whole lot, I gotta be honest with myself. And guess what? I don't have that quad sweep I want. So what do? I do exercises that get me where I want to go. And I will be doing this a lot more often, so that I get stronger, my form gets better, and my muscles grow exactly as I want them to. So this is 120 kilos, 2.5 plates on each side. That is, still goes pretty easily. But the problem that I have is really, where do I place the bar on my chest, on my shoulders? Because if you look at my head right now, it turns into a tomato because it's pretty much choking me. But I was like, no matter what, I will get this weight down and put it back up, because that's what you gotta do. Don't give up. Always go your max in the gym. I wouldn't feel good if I didn't go all the way with the front squat. I did 2 more sets after that I didn't record because I needed a spotter. But yeah, I will be getting better at it to really improve my legs in the way they need to improve. So from one compound to the next. This is a wide stance leg press. The wider your feet are on the platform, the more you will target the inner thighs and also the hamstrings more and the glutes. I like to go at least 90 degrees down so that I target the hamstrings and the glutes more, and I put my feet up pretty high, so just imagine putting them as low as possible. You will actually hurt your knees, but also hit your quads more, depending on exactly where you put your feet. But if you put them nice and high, you will target the hamstrings and glutes more, which is exactly what I want during this workout. And you don't have to go super heavy with this, but if you can, go as heavy as you possibly can, doing about 10 to 12 good, deep reps. Also, when going down, don't let the weight drop down. Actually control the weight, especially when you reach that 90-degree point. Don't use momentum to get the weight up, but use your muscular contractions to actually get the development in the areas you want developed. And to finish off the quads, because I'm implementing a lot more quads in this workout, which is actually a hamstring workout, because this is my last quad oriented workout before my competition, which is about 1.5 weeks away, and I'm not supposed to train quads that close to the competition anymore. So I didn't go all out during this workout, but I still went heavy enough to cause an anabolic response and to really get those legs fired up. If you look at my leg extensions right here, I like to do it the Tom Platz's way. Of course, not as extreme, because only he can do that, but you want to go not only with up to a full extension, but also go beyond the extension, go up as far as possible. So your feet should actually go above your knees, so they shouldn't be completely straight. Of course, during the last few sets where it gets too heavy, it is very difficult to achieve this, and right now my dad, who's behind the camera, is helping me do a couple of forced reps beyond failure to really pump up those quads to the max for a good finisher. And then guys, it is time for some calves, and I really like this machine. It's actually a horizontal leg press, but it is possible to actually target your calves exactly like this. You can also do this on a regular leg press. It really depends on the design of the machine, but if you can do this, it is really awesome. So what I'm doing first is 8 reps, going down slow, again destroying those muscle fibers on the negative, but exploding on the way up, really contracting the muscle as hard as possible. So that way you have a good stretch, a good contraction, and a good time under tension. The first 8 reps were with my feet pretty low on the pad, and the second 8 reps were with my feet higher on the pad, which actually targets different muscle fibers. And trust me, if you try it out, you will feel the incredible difference.
Look at this. This looks like quite a mountain of rice. You can't really see, but this is a pretty big plate and it's filled up with rice, but it's not just rice, it's also cauliflower rice. I don't know if you can see, but in between the regular rice grains, basmati rice, 100 grams, is 200 grams of cauliflower rice, which you can buy in the store, but it is a very nice way to bump up the volume when you're in a diet, when you're doing a prep, when you feel like your food is simply not voluminous enough to fill your stomach up. Trust me, vegetables is your salvation. Don't be afraid of them. Only if you cannot take cruciferous vegetables, I don't know how to pronounce that, but you know, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, stuff like that, then you gotta look out. And then you also gotta look out at my oatmeal hack, which adds vegetables like cauliflower. So I would stick to zucchini and carrots and bell peppers, which are actually added right there as well to prevent that. But anyway, you got 300 grams of white fish, 10 grams of coconut oil, 100 grams of rice, basmati rice, some beautiful herbs. The yellow color comes from turmeric or curcuma. And we've got 250 grams of vegetables, and I'm going to enjoy this meal absolutely right now.
Alright, with Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming, I wanted to show you this website because a lot of good deals will be on there. For sure, if you haven't checked out my website, vintagegenetics.com, do check it out because I sell a lot of different items on there, and a lot more is coming. So anyway, a lot of people have been asking, where is this hoodie? Why is it still sold out? Medium is there, but large is sold out, and extra large is sold out as well. But don't worry, they are coming your way and will be available again in just a few days. And also, we'll be getting a lot more tank tops like these, different cuts, different designs, so that'll be amazing as well. No matter how big you are, you will fit in them. But anyway, guys, there's also my Instagram right here, Wesley Vissers, at Wesley Vissers, if you are interested to check out my progress. And like the food items you saw, the food meals, I always post on my stories, so if you're interested in my daily food intake, check it out on there as well. Anyway, guys, I am done with this. I want to thank you for watching. Thanks a lot for your support. It really means a lot. And of course, guys, don't forget to stay golden.